Liam, once again, left me standing in the pouring rain because of another girl. He thought I'd keep chasing him shamelessly, like before, but he didn't know that this time I had finally decided to let him go. I deleted all his contact information and tried my best to avoid him, yet it seemed like my retreat was something he wasn't used to. At the school anniversary event, he deliberately invited the girl who used to bully me to dance with him. Then, he started dating my roommate and stayed out with her until late at night. Finally, he showed up at my dorm with his arm around another girl blocking my way. Elena, still causing trouble? If you keep this up, I'll really find a new girlfriend. I looked at him and smiled faintly. Your new girlfriend is quite pretty. I wish you two the best, truly. The car screeched to a stop in the rain. Liam yanked the door open and dragged me out from the back seat. I lost my balance and fell onto the muddy ground in a mess. Elena, girls as shameless as you are truly rare. He looked down at me with a mocking smirk. See her in the passenger seat? That's my new girlfriend. I slowly sat up, wiping the mud and rainwater off my face. The rain poured harder, soaking my hair until it stuck to my cheeks. The mud washed away, revealing a pale, small face underneath. Liam's eyes flickered slightly and he frowned. Go home by yourself. Stop following me. With that, he turned to get back into the car. Liam! I reached out with my muddy hand and lightly tugged on the hem of his jacket. So we're officially over now, right? As soon as I said that, laughter erupted from the car. His new girlfriend's voice was sugary sweet. Your ex-girlfriend is so clingy. Liam chuckled impatiently, pulling his jacket free. Elena, enough, okay? I admit I used to like you, but now I'm over it. Got it? I nodded, my drenched clothes clinging uncomfortably to my skin, icy and suffocating. Then stop clinging to me. I only kissed you and hugged you, never slept with you, so I don't owe you anything. Understand? I nodded again. Yeah, I understand. He said no more, gave me one last look, and then got into the car. That night, I came down with a fever. I stayed in bed for 2 days before returning to class. I deleted all of Liam's contact information. I had to pass his department on my way to class, but now, instead of hoping to run into him, I actively avoided him whenever I saw his group. Strangely enough, though, I kept running into him over the next few days, and every time I avoided him, until the school's anniversary gala. When Liam saw me with my roommate, he walked straight toward us. Elena, is Liam going to invite you for the first dance? My roommate asked softly. He asked you last year. But Liam didn't ask me. He didn't even acknowledge me. Instead, he walked past me and invited another girl, a girl who used to bully me and had once pursued him. When Liam wrapped his arm around her waist and led her onto the dance floor, my fingers went ice cold. My roommate, Bella, cautiously asked, Elena, are you okay? I shook my head. I'm fine. You guys have fun. I think I'll head back. Who Liam liked or pursued wasn't something I had the right to interfere with. But he knew how horribly that girl had treated me. He had once felt sorry for me, and even stood up for me because of her bullying. Now, though, it seemed like he had forgotten everything. I didn't want to cry, but as soon as I stepped out of the ballroom, tears rolled down my face. A week later, Liam started dating Bella. Every day, he showered her with flowers and gifts. During class, he would sit right beside her. After class, he kissed her in front of everyone. Bella started coming back to the dorm later and later. One day after class, Liam came to pick Bella up. As he passed my desk, he knocked over my bag. An acrylic keychain, a little gift he had once given me, fell to the floor. It was so old I had forgotten to take it off. The keychain broke, too. Liam raised an eyebrow as he glanced at it, then at me. Still holding on to it? So sentimental. I expressionlessly crouched down, picked up the broken keychain, and tossed it into the trash as I walked away. The classroom fell silent. I had just stepped outside when I heard a loud crash, like a desk being overturned, followed by Bella's startled scream. The next morning, I saw Liam downstairs with a new girl by his side. She was unfamiliar but stunning. "Elena!" Liam called out to me. I didn't want to acknowledge him, but he stepped in front of me, blocking my path. "Still causing trouble? Keep this up, and I'll really change girlfriends." I wanted to laugh, but it felt like something was caught in my throat, making it impossible. This was the same Liam who once cornered me in his family's garden late at night, kissing me passionately. The same Liam who had comforted me when I cried in fear, swearing he'd only ever love Elena. Now he was utterly detestable. I stayed silent, and Liam seemed flustered. "As long as you stop causing trouble, I'll let bygones be bygones. Deleting my contact, avoiding me at school, I won't hold those things against you." I suddenly looked up at him and smiled faintly. "Your new girlfriend is quite pretty. I wish you happiness, sincerely. Elena." I didn't turn back or stop walking. Liam, so proud, had already lowered himself by approaching me today. We were never equals to begin with. I should never have been greedy. He was the young master of a wealthy family, and I was merely an orphan they had taken in out of kindness. My father had been one of their chauffeurs for years. My food, clothes, and shelter had depended on his family's goodwill. I had always remembered their kindness and my own place. But who can control a young heart stirred by love? This greed was the price I had to pay. The only comfort I had was that his family didn't know about us, and I would bury this short-lived relationship deep inside me. That night, I drank heavily and missed the dorm curfew. I had no choice but to head back to the Chin residence. Liam's parents were away on vacation, and his grandfather was recuperating at a mountain villa. With no elders around, I wasn't too worried. But as soon as I stumbled into the house, tipsy and changing my shoes in the dark, I bumped into someone in the dining room. Startled, I almost screamed. "Elena!" Mason's voice rang out just as the lights came on. Seeing the man before me, my heart nearly stopped. It was Liam's young uncle, Mason. Leaned closer, his gaze steady. "Besides, if I recall correctly, you were the one who came to me first." I flushed at the memory of that night, unable to argue. Seeing my silence, Mason softened his tone. "Living with me will keep Liam from bothering you. Think it over." I moved into Mason's house. The house was much closer to my school. Mason was usually busy, so I still stayed in the dorm most of the time. Only on weekends would he come to pick me up. A few days ago, Mason arranged for Liam to intern at the company. He was sent directly abroad. Liam feared Mason and didn't dare slack off on work matters. As a result, he was constantly busy and had no time to pester me anymore. A month later, when Liam returned from his overseas trip and came to look for me at school, I had just stepped out of Mason's car. I waited at Liam, ready to leave, but Mason stopped me. "Elena." "Yes, do you need something?" I took 2 steps back toward the car. Mason reached out and grabbed my wrist, pulling me into his arms with a slight tug. "Mason," I panicked, worried that a passing classmate might see us. "I'll pick you up tonight." He let go of my wrist, and I quickly stood straight, but just then someone roughly grabbed my arm. Elena. Liam's eyes were practically blazing with anger. "What are you doing? Are you flirting with my uncle?" Now, Mason got out of the car, gripped Liam's wrist, and said coldly, "Let go. If everything goes as planned, when Elena graduates, you'll need to start calling her Aunt Mason's." Gaze was firm as he looked at Liam. "So, starting this moment, you'd better show her some respect." Liam was utterly stunned, and even I looked at Mason in shock. "Elena, go back to the dorm." "No, she can't leave." Liam was on the verge of breaking down. He held on to me tightly. "Mason, she's my girlfriend. This isn't funny. No one is joking with you." Mason's cold gaze landed on Liam's hand. "Take your hand off her." "I don't believe it. I just don't believe it." Liam shook his head, repeatedly looking at me. "I know you're doing this on purpose to provoke me. Aren't you seeing?" Liam refused to let go. Mason didn't waste any more words. He called his assistant. "Get him out of here." Liam struggled, but Mason's stern look made him stop. "Try causing trouble again, and see what happens." Liam was unwilling, but he didn't dare make another scene. After Liam was escorted into the car, Mason walked over to me. "Don't overthink it. I'll handle this. Got it? I'll pick you up tonight." "Go on." Mason waited until I entered the dorm building before getting back in his car and leaving. As soon as I walked into the dorm, Bella turned and left with a cold face. She had dated Liam for half a month before he dumped her. It wasn't until after their breakup that Bella realized she'd been used. Liam had only dated her to provoke me. After learning the truth, Bella harbored some resentment toward me. I wanted to make amends because Bella had been one of my first good friends in college. We used to get along really well. If it weren't for Liam, we wouldn't have had a falling out. Elena, do you think you two can make up? To be honest, Liam was such a jerk. No wonder Bella's upset. I felt the same way. A girl like Bella couldn't possibly withstand Liam's charm. I'll go talk to her. Yeah, you two should have a proper conversation. After all, you're in the same dorm. Bella and I talked for a long time, though she still had some lingering grievances. She was willing to mend our friendship. That evening, Mason came to pick me up. As promised, he had probably been out socializing and smelled of alcohol. As soon as I got into the car, before I could greet him, he pulled me close, startled. I tried to push him away, but his grip tightened. Elena, Mason, you're drunk. I am, but I'm very clear-headed. His slightly tipsy eyes gazed at me, gradually softening. Can I didn't reply, but I also didn't shake my head. Over time, I'd started to see him in a different light. What once felt uncomfortable had turned into a desire to spend more time with him. Mason pulled me into his arms and lowered his head to kiss me. His lips carried the strong scent of alcohol, and I'm not used to drinking, found it overpowering. I shook my head, trying to push him away. Mason opened his eyes, looked at me, and stopped instead. He buried his face in my neck, looking tired. Elena. His voice was husky as he tugged at his tie. My head hurts for some reason. The fear and distance I usually felt toward him seemed to melt away in his rare moment of vulnerability. Do you want to see a doctor? No. Hospital, he said, shaking his head and hugging me tighter. The smell of hospitals makes it worse. Then what should we do? I saw you massaging Grandpa before, he said, looking at me. Do the same for me. The driver couldn't help but chuckle, but quickly fell silent. I muttered under my breath, are you really drunk or just pretending? This behavior was so unlike Mason. Summoning my courage, I gently placed my hands on his temples. Let me know if it feels uncomfortable. After a while, when he didn't respond, I asked softly, is this pressure? Okay. Moments later, Mason suddenly grabbed my wrist. Stop talking, it's noisy. I held my breath and increased the pressure slightly. In the dim car, a faint smile seemed to form at the corner of Mason's lips. If I hadn't seen it with my own eyes, I would have thought it was my imagination. From that day on, my relationship with Mason seemed to grow closer. When we lived at the old family house, I had been terrified of him. The moment I saw him from afar, I would avoid him like a mouse avoiding a cat. But now, under the same roof, I occasionally dared to talk back. Mason was extremely busy, but every Friday night, without fail, he would come to pick me up. Even though we lived in the same house, we slept in separate rooms. Mason was reserved and disciplined, a true gentleman, except for a goodnight kiss on weekend nights. He rarely showed any physical affection. Living with him, I gradually felt at ease. For the first time in years, I experienced a sense of belonging, as though I truly had a home. Every elder in the old house had treated me kindly. But as a child living under someone else's roof, I had always been sensitive and mature beyond my years. Though I lacked nothing materially, I'd never felt a sense of home, not even during the months when Liam treated me well. Yet with Mason, I finally found that feeling. I couldn't pinpoint when it started, but I began looking forward to Fridays, looking forward to seeing his car downstairs, looking forward to opening the car door and seeing him, looking forward to curling up with him on the couch to watch a random movie, looking forward to those goodnight kisses on weekend nights. I loved hearing him call me Elena. It felt intimate, like a warmth that softened my heart. It made me feel like a little girl again, someone who could be willful without the fear of being disliked or sent away.